Thanks to the supporters at channel member Aaron Gaming. I may have panicked on deadline day and signed 3 more wingers. Hello and welcome to part 23 of the Tour de France. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you in Ligue 2. We are away against... I'm going to not be able to stop calling him Nancy. I'm told every time it's not. It's definitely Nancy. And Dijon, off of the mustard. I've got my mustard bucket is there. I have a bucket of their mustard. Hopefully I could... Oh, it's a home game. I was hoping I could pick up some more mustard while we were there. Since you were last with me, this is form like no form we've ever known before in this series. We lost 3 league football matches and drew another one. Thankfully, we are still hovering much higher in the league than we expected to be a quarter of the way into the season. We are in 4th place, 16 points on the board. We'd have been over the moon with that if we'd have been offered it at the start of the season, but we're certainly not going to be running away with the league or getting automatic promotion like we have done in previous years. And those of you who follow me on Twitch will know that my run of losing in the playoffs that dates all the way back to Born in the USA here on YouTube last year is still ongoing. So I really don't want to have to do playoffs because I've lost 15 playoffs in a row across multiple saves. So I think we are going to be staying in this league for another year. But to try and push us over the line into the promised land, we have brought in some more wingers. Not just wingers, we signed some midfielders as well. What is notable is we didn't sign any strikers, despite the fact we really, really need a striker. Tutu has been injured for a lot of this month, and we can't really score goals without him. But we did sign, I think we got as far as Anthony Roncaglia, who is a central midfielder, defensive midfielder, who we signed from Bastia. He came in quite a way before the window, actually, a month before the end of the transfer window. We then signed another midfielder who can also play right back, Sam Sana, 26 years old. Look at his value. Lovely old stuff. 3.5 stars of current ability. Former Nancy player, and also formerly of Nantes, Toulouse. He's done a little bit of a tour. Tom Renault is another central midfielder / defensive midfielder. There's definitely a certain type of player that we can find quite easily, and there seems to be an abundance of them. Other players that we actually need, less so. I could get defensive midfielders and wingers all day long. So there's your 3 new defensive midfielders. Here's your 3 new wingers. Simon Ramet is a right winger who can also play on the left wing. I wonder what that's like. Do we think we've got any more of that in the squad? We've got Bradley Barcola, who my justification for him is he is actually natural at centre forward as well. So if we get an injury to Tutu again, he's nice and quick and will play for us as a striker. He's on loan from Lyon until the end of the season. And then we also signed Noah Lemina, who is a left winger who can play on the right. I wonder what that's like. He's on loan from Paris Saint Germain, where he played 17 games over the last year or so for them in their B team. I have to emphasise, in their B team. So we've padded the squad out a little bit more. Lots of new faces. No new strikers. It's fine. We don't need strikers because Tutu's fit again now. I mean, he was unavailable for... Where's form? Yeah, he was unavailable for 5 games, and we felt it in those 5 games. But now he's back. He's going to score goals for us, and we're going to win this football match. And just because I love being me, one of those new defensive midfielders is going to play on the wing because I don't think we had enough wingers at the club. I mean, we're paying him nearly $7,000 a week. We need to get him in the team somewhere, and I was kind of panic buying at this point, and he doesn't really fit. Now we've got Renault in as well. So I could play him right back, but then we drop Abdallah. I could play him in central midfield, but then who do you drop? It's fine. Mandrea in goal. A back four of Cisse, Deleste, Carter, and Abdallah. Renault, I think, is he making his debut? He is making his debut at the base of the midfield with Vaquero and Traore ahead of him, and then Gotan and Sana supporting a returning 2-2 up front. We are away from home against Nancy, so we are... I mean, like I say, our form's been a little bit hit and miss, but hopefully, with the new boys in there, and 2-2 backfiring up front, hopefully, we might not find it quite so difficult to grab a goal. The one constant that's been fantastic is Gotan, who plays it into 2-2 there, and 2-2 with the effort that goes just wide. But yeah, despite the fact that I've signed, I think, 5 or 6 wingers over this summer, We are still playing with Gotan and a central midfielder out wide because I love Gotan. And like I say, need to fit Sana into the team somewhere. You'll see the wingers eventually, probably up front in central midfield. Just, they'll come on with 20 minutes to go because that's what there'll be at least 2 coming on with 20 minutes to go, possibly 3. How many wingers have we got on the bench today? 1, 2. We've only got 2 wingers on the bench. So yeah, they'll both be coming on with 20 minutes to go. And we are losing, and that is not ideal. It is something we're getting a little bit more used to. It still stings because we've been so used to winning every match throughout this series so far, and this season very much is a little bit more of a reality check, albeit a reality check where we are still massively overperforming, so we can't complain too much. But it does always feel like there's a terrible run of results just on the horizon, and hopefully we can avoid it for a little while longer. Oh, that's just brilliant from Traore. It's a lovely ball forward from Renault as well. You got to give both of them huge credit for this. It's a lovely pass forward, but that finish is just audacious. Look at the space Traore was in, and it's such a perfectly weighted ball over the top, and he shows such composure. We don't need strikers. We've got midfielders and wingers who can do that all day long. We are slowly but surely drifting towards strikerless because Tutu isn't really a striker. We don't really score goals from centre forward, but our midfielders are absolute menaces. Abdullah on the right hand side, cross comes in. Gotan is there off the left wing this time, but he can't keep his header down. That would have been another example of a midfielder grabbing goals for us. It is a corner against us, but luckily the crossbar is there to save us, and it remains 1-1. Where are this lot in the league? They are all the way down in 17th place. So this is a game that, based on how the league has been going so far, you would expect us to stand a chance in. That being said, it's been some of the teams down the bottom of the league that we've struggled with. So I think we just generally are much closer to the pack this year than we have been in previous years. And there'll just be some games where we're fairly evenly matched. This is probably one of them. We're fairly evenly matched. We might win. We might not. It's weird not having the foregone conclusion of the victory. I miss it already. And we're having to do this thing called defending again, which I really don't care for, especially as we've lost our best defender in Boyd. We'll check in on Boyd after this match. I haven't seen if he's actually playing for Marseille. We might have the opportunity to bring him back in January if they're not using him. But I suspect, I've said it before, I suspect by the end of this season he'll be a full French international. He seems like he's on that kind of trajectory. I could be wrong, but I really am. I think he's going to be very, very good. Right, we are losing, which puts us down into the final playoff spot as it currently stands. We do have a little bit of firepower on the bench. It is only a little bit, though. Theo Her really was struggling in the absence of Tutu, and Tutu coming back doesn't really seem to have improved things when it comes to actually getting some shots away and some threats to goal. I identified it at the end of last season. We need a striker. We've needed a striker all summer. We haven't got a striker, and we're struggling because of it. But once again, those midfielders, and I tell you what, Tom Renault, on his debut, don't be disallowing that, referee. He has disallowed it. What a monster. But all the same, these passes from our deep-lying playmaker are things of absolute beauty. I think we've got a new superstar there. Those of you who remember Vermonti from a few years ago, I'm getting Vermonti feels from Renault at the base of the midfield. Sana playing it back to Abdullah. Renault is knocking around on the edge here, waiting for the ball to pop back to him, but instead we look for Traore, and now it's the chance for Nancy to break away and add a third, and they are one-on-one with the keeper, and that is upsetting that was so easy. We put up very little resistance to them there, and we're losing. And oh, look at it. It's just poor. That wouldn't have happened if we'd have had Boyd at the back, but we don't. Renault trying to poke the ball forward to Tutu this time. Don't be poking it through. Knock it over the top the way you have been so far. It's been working brilliantly. Oh, goodness me. Nancy on the attack again. Maybe he's good at the through balls, but not so good at protecting the defence the way you get with someone like Carter sat in there doing his crunching defending. Right, we have a corner, a chance to get a goal back. Traore to the far post. There is David Carter. There is a goal back. It's 3-2. Still 25 minutes left in this game. We still have a chance to get back into this and salvage something from it against a team I really felt like we could probably get a result against. That's a dominant far post header from David Carter, who is really starting to settle into being in the team now. Oh, my word. My assistant manager is recommending we change the goalkeeper. I mean, who am I to argue? Usmani Ba, come on, make your debut, young man. Mandrea might be done. I could count on one hand the number of times I've taken a goalkeeper off over the years on Football Manager. That might be it for Mandrea. If Bar comes on and looks good, they've got roughly the same current ability, but Bar has more potential. This might be a changing of the guard. Right, we're shuffling some things around to make a few more substitutions. We'll get Michael Oliver on as well. And then, I mean, I promised you 2 wingers, so there's some wingers. Babai and Lemina. Lemina is going to come on and make his debut. He's a right footer who plays on the left, so he's going to come on for Gotan. So we're going to have a close look at him. In fact, there he is with the ball. Traore now slotting it back into Lemina. That was lovely. Dinks it over to Babai, and the 2 wingers who've just come on combining to win us another corner. And we look like we are knocking on the door here. Still 20 minutes to go in this match. We want a goal. Delest, his header is just over. So very close. Come on, boys. There's got to be an equaliser in this. We're going to go attacking. We're offering some encouragement. We've dropped down to 6th as things stand. But if we can just grab an equaliser, we move back up into the playoff spots. Keita with the in-swinger to the far post. Delest is there. And it goes over. Tutu has had a terrible game. He's on a 6.3. He's done absolutely nothing today. It's going to cost us this season, this whole not having a striker thing. I need to find a striker. Tutu. I'm so sorry, Tutu. I need to find a striker. Cuts immediately to the greatest goal in the history of Football Manager. What a finish. That's absurd. Well, shut my mouth. Goodness me. 3-3, 2-2 with an absolute worldie. Where was he for the rest of the match? I guess it doesn't matter when he can go and do that. We've still got a minute left to go and grab a winner here. We don't deserve to win this game. I wouldn't object if we did, but it would be very against certainly the run of play in the highlights. The match stats suggest we have been the better team, but highlights-wise, I'm not so sure. Babai looking for the cross, trying to find Tutu again. He's only gone and won the match. It's Nancy 3, Tor 4. What a football match. And what a final 5 minutes for Gabriel Tutu. That is, that's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers what we've seen at the end of this match. I mean, he's scored both the kinds of goals there, hasn't he? Well, there you go. We are back up in the playoff spots, and that was pretty sensational. Right, couple of changes for the Dijon game. Delest is suspended, so Martinez comes back in at the back alongside Carter, and we have brought Babai into the team. I think he made a bit of a difference when he came on in the last game, so Babai comes in on the right. Sana dropping into midfield and Traore dropping down to the bench. Can't drop £7,000 a week Sana, can I? Yet. I mean, I imagine this will be his last game. I'll drop him eventually. We are playing against Dijon, the Mustard people, who are, I believe, 2nd in the league. So this is something of an early season promotion. I mean, I maintain we are not in a promotion race. And I think we're going to prove it in this game. But we are the home team. So, you know, we've just had a fantastic late turnaround performance in our previous match. So who's to say? Tutu, all eyes on you. After I criticised you in the last match, let's see if, I mean, do I need to criticise him early? Tell him he's not any good? I am a little bit worried that the difference might have been Gotan going off, our 19-year-old captain. Maybe we needed a proper captain. I didn't actually notice who the game auto-selected as captain when Gotan went off, but I think there's always been the odd question mark about having a 19-year-old left winger as our club captain, and maybe we're going to be starting to see some evidence of that. I don't want to drop him. I love him, but we might have to pick a real captain, like Delest maybe, would make more sense. We're 1-0 down here, which is... I was going to say it's not ideal. I honestly don't really mind in a game like this against a team who look destined for promotion at the moment. I don't think I'll keep emphasising, I just don't think we're going to be in a title race. I think we've had a couple of lucky results. I mean, even that last match, for a couple of moments, well, a moment of individual brilliance to turn the game around and get us back into it, I still don't think we necessarily deserved the win. I don't think we deserved the win. I think a draw probably would have been fair, but we have had a couple of nice lucky moments like that, which I don't think are going to last the entire season. Mandrea, as you can see, has kept his place in the side. Bar didn't. I mean, it's a little bit harsh. The only way Bar would have kept his spot is if he'd have come in and we'd have carried on being rubbish and he'd made a load of saves. But because we didn't really see him, I couldn't really justify dropping Mandrea for him. And Tutu has scored again. And perhaps this is the rise of Tutu as an actual goal scorer. It's his third year at the club. He's never made it to 20 goals in a season for us yet. And he's playing 2 divisions higher than he was when he signed. But he is looking like, after his spell out with injury, that he is in some pretty decent form. 3rd goal in this game and a half that we've seen him play in. And I tell you what, Mandrea, he might not be long for this team. Can we blame him for that? We need to look at it from the other angle. I feel like, I mean, it's a very central free kick. It's generally poor defensively, but you'd like him to make the save there, I think. Gotan has now picked up an injury, so Lemina is going to come on at half-time. So that's going to test that theory, because he's now on playing as an inside forward over there. If that turns the team around, then we know that the captaincy is the issue. If we have to wait until Mandrea goes off, then we know that he's the issue. We'll work it out eventually. Lemina with the corner, headed back across. Sana there, Tutu, Carter. Between the three of them, nobody could get a proper effort away on goal. It remains 2-1 to Dijon, and we're glancing down at the bench to see what we can maybe bring on, but we don't need to bring anything on. We've got Gabriel Tutu in the form of his life. Oh, the referee's disallowed it. What a scumbag. Good to see that Sana can hit a nice free kick. It's marginal there, I think. But it is offside. Boo, hiss. It's been a very even game. We might have to go attacking in a minute to try and force an equaliser. Their striker, fancy pants, is playing with a false 9. Goodness me. And he has scored 2 goals. Oh, Vaquero's now injured. That's not ideal. Our best player to be going off injured. We're going to take off Babai. Bradley Barcola can come on for him, who it can play as a right winger. And then what else have we got? Michael Oliver should always be coming on in football matches. Then that just leaves us with Tio Herr or Wesley Moustache. Well, neither of them are coming on. So you know what? We're going to do it again. Bar's going to come on in goal again. I've never eased a goalkeeper into the team by bringing him on as a substitute for the final 20 minutes of matches. It seems like a terrible idea, but when you can do 5 substitutions, why not? What's the worst that can happen? We're already losing. This is how Bar becomes our goalkeeper. Look how close this match is. This is 2 matches today that both probably should have been draws, and we've ended up with 3 points. So I guess actually we're doing okay. We've done better than what the performances would suggest. Can't really complain too much, can I? And at the moment, we're looking like we might even be in the playoffs at the end of the year, which is something I'm not looking forward to. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.